everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't posted in like 2 months, but I've been really busy with work. I've been sick a few times. I'm getting over a sinus infection right now. I also just finished up school at my college that I go to, so I'm going to be transferring to a new one starting this fall, so if videos start getting scarce again in the fall, sorry. Um, it's because of school and work. I'm not trying to forget about you guys again, but if you guys have enjoyed the videos that I posted, please consider subscribing and liking those videos. Today's video is going to be about the Cheongju curling iron incident that happened. It was a pretty terrible bullying case in the mid-2000s in South Korea. Sorry, my dog is running around upstairs, so if you can hear that, I apologize. And I also apologize about the long time between posts. But let's get into it. Today's video is going to be a good one, and next week, hopefully, I should have another video. And I'm going to Los Angeles in a couple weeks, so hopefully I post a video about that too. Let's get into the video. The thumbnail of this video isn't the actual girl, it's a snapshot from the Netflix Korean drama called The Glory. I recommend it, but beware, it's a dark and twisted, and it's just like this case. In fact, actually, it was based on this case. Today's video will be covering the Cheongju curling iron incident that took place in 2006 in South Korea. There's also a great video about this case by Rotten Mango. It was an episode of her podcast, so go check it out in the description below. Let's dive right into this. Back in May of 2006, a girl was attending a middle school in Cheongju, South Korea. And if you don't know where Cheongju is, and quite frankly neither did I before researching this video, it's in west central South Korea, pretty much smack dab between Seoul and Busan. Just as a disclaimer, I couldn't find many pictures of the actual girl, so I'm just going to be using the picture of Moon Dong-eun from The Glory. It's this girl on screen right now. She's the main character. She has the same pretty much story in the Netflix show as this story is in real life. In the school the girl went to, I'm going to call her 1, because her name hasn't really been disclosed publicly that much, but she was the victim, and she was attending class when 3 other girls from her grade started bullying her out of nowhere, and it was before, during, after school, pretty much all over the place. Sadly, 1 couldn't escape the bullying, and these 4 girls were all in 9th grade at the time, which means they couldn't have been older than 15, and knowing this much makes the case really depressing. The bullying usually consisted of the 3 girls extorting 1 for money, but when 1 couldn't pay them or meet their demands, they'd physically assault her. This is a not-so-fun fact. Bullying in Korea is way worse than bullying here in the United States, where I am, and it's for the dumbest of reasons. Rich kids will tease you in school here in the U.S. for wearing non-designer clothes, or I guess nowadays not wearing Nike Tech. Ugh. In Korea, rich kids will beat the living daylights out of you for wearing non-designer clothes, and they'll get away with it scot-free. Sadly, the physical abuse became worse and worse for 1. Between the regular beatings on school premises, the 3 girls horrifically beat 1. In an abandoned factory, they went to her house and threatened violence against her younger brother, and threatened to cause a scene in the house. And the cherry on top, the bullies used a curling iron meant for hair and burned 1 when the iron was at its hottest it could get. This left 1 with burns all over her arms, which later became infected and left forever scars. In The Glory, there is a scene of the main character getting burned by a curling iron, just like in the story, and it's pretty hard to watch if you're not used to like gruesome stuff like that. The teacher had noticed something was going on when 1's school uniform was stained on the arm in multiple places. 1's arm became infected and started spewing pus and other bodily fluids out onto her sleeve. Because the teacher noticed the injuries, the bullies became enraged and began beating student 1, or 1, more brutally and more often. The school didn't handle it any better, though, and the bullies continued their assault on the girl. At some point after 20 days, the bullying finally stopped. Unfortunately, though, the damage had already been done, and it was awful. The brutality of the assault led to 1 having a protruded tailbone, which required 6 weeks of hospitalization. In an interview after the incident, 1 opened up about how she never had time to properly tend to her wounds because the bullies would check the iron's temperature every few days. Checking the temperature is how the bullies would burn 1. They'd check the temperature by shoving the iron against her and see just how bad it would burn her. A criminal case was opened up against 1 of the bullies, who threatened 1 again after worrying if her name would be exposed by 1, who was the victim, by the way, of all of this. In court, though, the bully admitted to pretty much everything that happened. Local authorities and the school that Warren attended were slammed for not properly handling the bullying. Nah, not the bullying. This is straight up torture in high school. The girl will permanently have to live with the scars she got from the bullies and the trauma of being tortured in school with no resources to seek and having nobody to help her. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there's a Korean drama on Netflix called The Glory, which is based on this case that I'm showing you today. The show follows Moon Dong-eun, the show's version of one, and the girl in the thumbnail and who I've showed throughout the video, and her history of being bullied and sexually harassed and assaulted in high school. Fortunately for the Dong-eun character, she got her revenge and the bullies were served justice, unlike the real-life case. The story has stirred up a lot of controversy in Korea, though, with multiple people being interviewed about similar bullying experiences in school, and even exposing many K-pop idols, Korean actors and actresses, athletes, etc., for bullying when they were in high school. Peer-to-peer bullying has become a topic that is more widely covered in Korea as of recently. All things considered, this show and the case it's based on has a little bit of irony within the cast itself. Kim Hieora, the actress who played Sarah in The Glory, was just recently found to have been in the middle school bullying gang back when she was in middle school. The gang she was in was actually a notorious Korean middle school bullying gang called Big Sangji, and she denied being involved with anything inappropriate, illegal, or absurd, but a lot of her victims say otherwise, even though she admits to just being a bystander in this whole ordeal. Kind of ironic considering the show is about this case. There's one more sort of connection, if you will, to the story that I'd like to talk about. A woman known as Seong Min was interviewed fairly recently and revealed that she was bullied in a very similar fashion to the Moon Dong-eun character in The Glory. She claims that she was similarly tortured to the character, was burned by heating devices, to which she had a scar to back it up, and her bullies would physically harm her and throw items at her to resolve their anger. She was even allegedly taken to a bully's house and beaten and starved for 3 days. According to Seong Min, the bullying and the torture was so bad it tore her iris. If you know me, you know I can't stand eye injuries. So anything that has to do with an eye injury makes me feel pretty queasy. Sadly, Seong Min can't even go to the beauty salon without trembling in fear of irons. When she gets her hair done, she reminds her stylist, quote, not to do anything too elaborate. Seong Min's and her bully's parents reportedly both had full-time jobs and wouldn't be home until late at night. So on days that Seong Min was abducted by her bullies lied to her parents and told them that she, quote, ran away from home and would, quote, kill herself if she returned. Those last two quotes ring a pretty depressing bell, don't they? Seong Min wasn't free yet because she found out her bullies enrolled in the same university that she did, and when her bullies saw her years upon years later in university, they said, I know you from somewhere. What do you study now? Pretty much completely denying anything wrong they did back in middle school. Seong Min told the hosts of the show she appeared on, called Attack on Sisters, and told them that she appeared on the show to remind her bullies of what they did to her, and to show them how much pain she's been in through the 10 plus years since they were all in middle school together. Luckily, she's gained a lot of support from viewers, her friends and family, and the internet, so that's at least something nice in this story. It really is a sad case. There's a lot of moving parts with it. Nothing really funny about this case at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for staying tuned. Again, I apologize for such the long delay with this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a like down below. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.